A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. We tend to try to keep things pretty PG-13 around here, but this is an improv podcast. So, who knows what we're going to say. Sometimes we throw in some swearing, some sexual content, and some violence. So, as a general warning, viewer discretion is advised. Also to be noted, the opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We love the game and we like talking about it. So, any criticisms are really just all in good fun. That being said, wizards, please hire us. All right, with that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
Remember them. We've got Keemstar, Leafy.
Oh my god.
iDubbbz, H3H3. If you sort of expand it, you could probably get some more in there.
I really
Scarce.
thought that like a lot of these
Pyrocynical.
people were gonna be people that I
Pyrocynical.
didn't know, but like every single person you have said I know.
I
Yeah,
told
as soon as
Exactly.
you said the names, I'm like, why do I know these?
Why do I know these people and why are you unearthing so many terrible memories right now?
I
We
don't
wanna
want to go
even
back to
further
2016.
We
I wasn't
we
even
get
involved.
more.
I wasn't even a part
Shane
of any of this.
Dawson,
No.
James Charles. We can take Logan Paul, Jake Paul. We can get all the makeup people. We can go even further back. We get Fred/Lucas. We can get Shane Dawson. I already said him, I think. We can get Onision.
Oh, God.
Are Jake and Logan Paul before 2016?
No.
They were
Okay.
2016.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, I thought they were lumped in with that group. Ah.
Why controversial YouTubers? That's...
Yeah, what? Did you just feel like it? Were you just like feeling it? You just wanted to talk about them today?
Past week, I've probably watched 5 days worth of retrospectives on these people.
Why?
White man was here. How can you tell? Video essay.
Precisely. Boogie2988.
Oh, but he's more recent than 2016 though. He's
You
a
would think
recent
so, but I don't think he is.
Really?
But also, we
Well,
should
but-
probably stop talking about him because he's been known to just dox people that hate him.
Okay.
Oh, let's not do
even
that.
hate, just mention him.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut out the name.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat One Podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertuset.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan.
Well,
Hmm.
I mean, what can you say about these people? They're
Several things.
yeah.
Tobuscus, we can keep it going.
Pauline Ballinger.
Buskus.
Yeah,
Oh no,
annoying orange.
Jordan, we can't talk about the funny group chat.
Sky does Minecraft, speaking of which.
Sky does Minecraft. Oh my goodness.
Now, would we actually talk about all these people? No, because I mean, like, what is there not to that we could add that hasn't
That's all done
been
already.
said?
It's
Yeah.
all happened.
If
We're
you
not.
need,
We don't know these
said-
people.
if you need to remember people's names, all that you have to look up is Cyberbully Channels Are Cancer on YouTube and watch the music video. He names all of them.
Taryn's on
By
that list.
Nisha. Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of talking about them, we're gonna talk about them in D&D.
Oh my god. What do you mean by this?
I have
Oh.
no words.
Oh,
about
it's so funny.
This
What if,
bit's
like-
starting to get a little old.
Well, you know,
Of X
eventually,
but in D&D.
you know, if we keep going, it'll become ironically funny. So we got to keep pushing.
True, we gotta push so hard that it loops back around and then it's ironically funny because it's
Mhm.
not funny.
Oh.
It. Yes.
Oh.
So this time my thoughts are content creation, but in D&D, and also the people that get mad with content creation power in D&D.
Bards.
Power?
Power.
So
But
we're
the-
talking about bards.
When you say power though, you're implying that it's like magic or something on tier with magic.
Not necessarily, just the ability to get a following, like Caesar, right? Like he was powerful, sure, but like he was a general and then got into the politosphere by having so many people aligned to him.
And using magic.
Yes.
And now he's famous on Tumblr.
Yeah.
So
The Ides of March is Tumblr's favorite holiday. This is common knowledge.
So I was gonna say something, but I lost it now. I don't remember what I
Yeah.
was
You're
gonna say
welcome.
actually. Oh, okay. So like, are you proposing? This is like a background, a character class. Like what is this exactly? The content creator.
I
So you're
think
telling me
it's
I don't have to make Shane Dawson in D&D? That's what I was afraid we were gonna do. Is
No,
like
we're
Billy
still
them.
making specifically you do that.
Oh no.
Mhm.
um I think Tara and I were talking about this because at first Tara and I were going to make a D&D character sheet for Keemstar. That's how it started.
Yeah.
But I think that these characters are all best served as NPCs.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Continue explaining if you could.
Well, I mean, it's like real life, right? Like, I think it's almost impossible to even attempt to emulate any of these figures, nor should you ever even try, because that'd be awful. So the best way to encapsulate them in a fantastical setting is to make them someone you have the option to beat up.
Or just like in real
Valid.
life, the reason they were even so known about is because so many people observed them. So just allow them to be observed
Exactly.
by your players.
Exactly. Which means to
Oh.
get this all started in the world building, there has to be something that lets people have platforms where individuals can be followed greatly across nations. Not
I'm
physically followed.
I feel like some kind of reverse scrying spell is how
Oh.
this works.
All I'm picturing right now
Yeah.
is like a big magical TV, and it's Keemstar, but he's got on like a stereotypical pointy red gnome hat.
You think Keemstar would be a gnome?
I don't even know if he would be a gnome. For some reason, my brain is just equating the hat with him, and he just has that hat on. And that's all that's different about him in this vision that I've
I
created
know.
is
I
the
like the
hat.
idea that he's like gnome height too. It's really funny to me. Oh,
Oh my
let's
goodness.
get right into,
Into the news. Oh. Well, I can say that a long time ago I got into this kick where I bought a bunch of these like $5 games on Steam that were they were books, but they were like choose your own adventure books, and there's a game developer on Steam who just has released like 4 dozen of these games. And one of them, which I think was probably one of their best that they had ever made, was called Choice of Magics. And in Choice of Magics, they have something quite like this, which is the School of Glamour Magic, which is literally just like you make yourself look pretty, you give yourself more charisma, you're really good at music, and like higher tier glamour magic is like you can project yourself to multiple places across the world with basically like a TV. With the drawback being the more you use glamour magic, it's like crack. It slowly kills you from the inside
just like
out.
YouTube.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so like I think that is an interesting concept, and I think it would be very doable in D&D with just maybe some tweaks, maybe some homebrew spells, maybe not even some homebrew spells, but maybe just some loose DM interpretations on how certain spells work. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. You could definitely mess with the language of scrying
Mm-hmm.
and like have it kind of be like a reverse thing because the sensor is the camera, and then you figure out from there how to make that a widespread, like how to disseminate that.
True. Or if you want to go beyond making it just magic users, make it into an item that people can buy, like the bag of holding. It's uncommon, it's magical, but you buy a camera of some sort, and that way even the fighter can get one.
But then that begs the question, in my opinion. Now are these drama tubers, because some of them were drama tubers in the sense that they're like Keemstar or Scarce, where they report the news, and so that's why they're involved in drama. But others of
Some
them
of them
are
were
just
the drama.
drama. Others of them just create drama. So is this the idea of like there is a content creation sphere within this D&D world where all of these people are like the same as they are in our world, where like they make entertainment stuff, or is this just like they're just horrible people?
I think it can be both.
And Keemstar is a legitimate newsman.
I think
he's just covering the various crimes.
He's as legitimate in that as he is in the real world.
Gnome Star.
Turner and I
I'm
were
your
talking
host,
about it.
Niller Gnome Star.
Oh,
See, Turner and I were disagreeing on one thing. Because Turner thinks he'd be a bandit. I think he'd be a pirate. Because,
Team Star?
yeah, because I think he wouldn't abide by any national laws. He's above them, so you'd have to go to maritime law. So he's got his own boat, the Drama
Yeah.
Alert boat.
Okay.
And, like, you know how he does those mediation things all the time between two people that have beef?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does. He brings them onto the boat,
Onto the boat.
and then they don't have any, like, actual authority over one another, you know? Instead of going to the other person's court or something, they go to the Drama Alert boat.
It's like Judge Judy.
Yeah.
And
We
he
have
streams
Judge
it.
Judy
He
also
streams
be a
it to the
content
world.
creator.
Mm.
Oh.
Honestly, I'm just telling you, influencer stuff in D&D would go hard. And I think the more influencer stuff you have, the cooler and funnier it is.
I think we should become influencers in Vivian 3.
True.
We're already being watched.
Think about it. Think about it like if you made a character that was an influencer, and influencing was a big thing in the D&D world, and then there was one influencer that hated your content because they thought you were copying, so then they start hunting you down.
Because copyright law doesn't exist, so they're
Yeah.
gonna
They
kill
just,
you.
It's your word. It's an honor code.
They're making a copyright claim on your life.
Holy moly.
You're gonna get DMCA'd, kid.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of already made influencers in D&D because I feel like Kyle, not the dragon, was an influencer in his own right.
He was the first. He was Fred.
He was the first influencer. He had t-shirts. He had that merch grind going.
Search
Fred!
your heart. You know it's true. He was
Not
Fred.
Fred!
Hey guys, it's me,
No!
Kyle.
No, not Fred!
Oh my gosh, it's Weezer.
The Raven Wings were the first like viral media company.
excuse me. The quote is actually, "Oh my gamut, it's Weezer."
Oh. But regardless, I think if you have like a massive world with influencers, it'd be hilarious. And then, and just like in real life, if you can start from the bottom of being like a commoner and get into this with very low barrier to entry and then suddenly have a massive following, they're gonna tweak under pressure and do the things that they do in real life probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh,
All of the people we named pretty much
guys,
earlier.
I'm telling you, I thought the cat was polymorphed. I thought it was a person.
No, I thought it was a druid.
I've been talking to this druid, and I was really convinced it was her.
Oh my god.
I didn't mean
joke.
to.
Oh.
That's horrifying.
But it's so truing though. Oh, one name we forgot and Terry and I forgot it earlier as well. H3H3 as well, also in there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you said that. I thought you
Did
said
I?
that.
Oh, okay, good. Terry and I forgot him earlier, so I just forgot him again.
Yeah.
Jeez, Taryn.
Yeah. Now, if we
I
go
need that
back,
as a soundbite.
if we go to the true 2016 drama era, when it was the freaking Thunderdome,
Yeah.
right? It was
Good
like
Lord.
Keemstar and H3H3 and Leafy and iDubbbz. Those were the four
Gosh.
combatants. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty
those were
much.
the big ones.
If they weren't combating each other, they were the big dogs that people were
Hmm.
constantly getting into stuff with, and then they were always coming out on top, usually.
And are we including any of the art streamers that were like really problematic around that time? I remember that's like around that era where there were a lot of people that were fighting in the art community.
Probably not, because I feel like they have far less name recognition than the four I just mentioned.
Probably.
That's their own beef.
That is they own beef.
Where's the beef?
They own it.
Arby's.
No, it's Wendy's. Wendy's is where's the beef. Arby's has the meat.
Do you think
I'm an
I would
influencer.
know? Do you know? Oh.
Jordan talking to the first vegetarian.
The first.
Yes.
I'm the first vegetarian, Hollow. So I think it's only fair. See, but the thing is, the 4 people I just mentioned have vastly different backgrounds of how they became famous, yet they still did in the same way. Like, they became the same type of famous.
Yeah.
And so I think it's only fair that we need to describe what classes they were and how they became to fame in D&D.
I'm gonna be honest,
Okay.
I don't remember who any of these people are. I remember the
What?
names. I do not remember who these people are.
Keemstar is
Right.
how to best
News.
describe him. He's like a super biased newsman.
Okay.
He reports news, but not well.
He does it maliciously.
And he focuses mainly on
News
stuff
with
that's happening
malicious
on
intent.
YouTube. Or like like content creators on like YouTube and Twitch and that kind of
Internet-osphere,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
focuses
and
on
he
that kind of
does
stuff.
not fact check his sources
No.
like half the time.
No.
Like I said, he does it literally with malicious intent. 'Cause it's been
And
proven he does it to like help
his
his
news
friends.
channel is called Drama Alert Nation. So it is just intended to be like stirring up drama to get clicks. Like
Naturally.
self-awarely.
You
Uh, Leafy,
Uh,
gosh, how to describe Leafy? Taryn,
I've
you take it
learned.
away. You giggle. Oh, or Pertuset, one of you.
I've been watching all these retrospectives. I've literally learned all their rises to fame, except iDubbbz, because there is not one on him yet. For reference, the channel I've watched for all these is called June the King. I'll give them a shout out. Great guy, great person for this stuff. So as it turned out with Keemstar, he started as being a headshot troll Halo 3 Let's Player. I didn't know this until recently.
Okay.
That's funny.
Prior to even that, he was somebody. Oh, what did they call it? You know how when you owe fees to the court, like someone has to check and make sure that you are actually like you can't pay, so they don't charge you.
Yeah.
His
Like-
job was to listen to the stories and see if they're believable or not,
Oh,
and then either choose to charge them immediately or delay the charge.
interesting.
I feel like that's the same thing as like being an insurance adjuster. You have
Kind
to
of.
be a certain kind of person to do that job.
Here's the thing: would you know it? He was the best one ever on that company.
That's
He was their
funny.
top salesman.
Oh my god.
That doesn't tell you anything about Keemstar. I don't know what will.
No.
yeah.
For Leafy, I found out his origin started with owning Minecraft servers that he figured out a way to monetize quite literally before Mojang cracked down on that and
Oh.
quit
Nice.
making
Oh
people
my
pay
gosh.
money.
Yep.
And throughout
Oh.
it, the reason he even got his start is because he got super massive DDoS attacked for a lot of money because he was doing that same stuff to other people, and then he complained about it on YouTube, which led to him doing all of his videos about kids that do X.
Yep.
Hmm.
I don't know how iDubbbz really got kicking though. So I'm gonna turn that over.
iDubbbz kind of, I mean, without a video to look at, iDubbbz kind of did similar stuff to Filthy Frank back in the era of Filthy Frank. So he was kind of like absurdist, edgy back when it was cool to be edgy humor, like stuff like politically incorrect kind of humor, that kind of stuff. And he actually, there were a couple times where he like did videos with Filthy Frank where they would do like collaborations together and stuff. And he was good friends with that whole group back in the day. So yeah, that's where a lot of his popularity came from. He also did a really long running series that a lot of people like called Content Cop.
Yeah.
Which is where he would like, actually, honestly, I don't actually remember. Was it like he investigated people's channels or what was it?
He was just reviewing people's content. Yeah.
Yeah. And he would do like full breakdowns of people's content, and 9 times out of 10, usually it would be like this person's shit and bad at what they do.
Hence
Laugh at
Content
them.
Cop.
Yeah, laugh at them. They're dumb and bad and stupid, and they don't deserve to be on the internet. And then that obviously easily leads itself into controversy.
Yeah.
So
Although, to be fair, most of the channels that he did cover, he was correct about
was
because
correct,
it was shit
yeah.
like rice gum.
yep.
Like
Yes.
It's still
Was
not
he
nice
too-
though, which was probably part of the problem.
Yeah. And
well,
then
whatever your content is flexing on homeless people, I think you deserve to have a little bit of hate thrown your way. But
Content cop?
But
Content
that's
crap.
old stuff. That's back in
Yes.
the heyday of 2016.
Mhm.
Now iDubbbz is a completely different person, and I don't even know if
Mhm.
he makes content anymore. I'm not sure.
he's the one that does creator boxing.
Oh,
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 Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, no,
right.
he's doing
kinda
great
goofy
now.
of me.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then our last combatant is H3H3, which is really two people, but most people I think know Ethan from H3H3.
Yes.
Um, and the
I
two
think
of
they're
them,
most famous for they have a podcast now.
yes, they started because Ethan's wife, whose name's escaping me right now, the other H3, she was going to school to get a degree in like art stuff, and it involved video creation, and so they started posting skits to YouTube. But then whenever like during a little before the adpocalypse, but basically whenever skits started being crapped on YouTube, and they said you
Mhm.
don't get money from skits anymore, or at least the ad turnout is not as good as like video game content. They kind of turned away from that and started making podcasts. And then I don't really know how they got all swept up in all the drama. They kind of just started like on podcasts, started talking crap about their people that they were friends with
Mhm.
and their content, and being like, yeah, I don't like them anymore. And then people
Yep.
going to Twitter and being like, I thought you were my friend, and then they were like, I don't associate with you anymore. Like,
Yep.
I don't fully understand how H3H3 got all caught up in all that stuff, because they didn't really make a lot of drama videos. They made one on Leafy, as I
Yeah, but
recall. I think that's
everybody
it.
was. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. So there's our fighters, although they're not actually fighters.
I was gonna say, how does this lend itself to D&D?
Ugh.
So you have to, the sheer cultural impact of these four people we've mentioned, they had to have been the equivalent of like having four Godfreys in our world at once.
yeah.
I think at least 80% of the Gen Z male population knows every one of these names.
Yes, I
So
100% do.
Well,
So yeah,
it's, I'm trying to think, if we put it in a D&D world, it's like having four massive heroes arise all at once, and they have
well,
massive power, but it's
But
quickly
are they
found out none of
yeah, I
them
was
are
about to say,
morally
I think,
good.
yeah, I think hero is a stretch.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like Shield Hero, right? Like they're summoned and they have massive strength and power, but they are not good
None of them
people
are
in any
morally
way.
good. Yeah, no.
And they all abuse it in their own ways and fight with
Yep.
each other for supremacy.
Yeah.
yeah.
They have churches dedicated to them that fight each other at the behest of the leaders. Hiss.
Don't
Remember that?
give Keemstar a church.
Do you
I
remember the
genuinely
leafy
think if
hisses?
Keemstar had political power, he would come out on top. I think he's like the
Yeah.
most conniving out of all of these people. He would know. He would know how to use it.
Oh, I
Which
guess
brings
we
me to
got
my first point. Keemstar is lawful evil.
And we could make him a politician in D&D. I feel like that is something that would be pretty damn close to an influencer in the context of like a fantasy world.
Okay, but if he's going to be a class, though, if we're going to ascribe a class to each of them, what would his class be? Exactly.
He's super conniving. That's the thing.
He's
is
very
he does all this
conniving.
stuff in secret. He
Uh,
barely gets
Whispers
called out.
Bird?
Mastermind Rogue.
Mastermind Rogue could also work.
Maybe.
I was just going to say he's like just an asshole wizard.
I think he does work a little bit of magic.
Because that's how he gets all his information out. That's how he does Drama Alert Nation. Is he's like a divination wizard, so he projects it into people's minds.
He makes push notifications before phones are a
Yes,
thing.
all of the people within his nation. He's like the evil lich necromancer lord, and all the people in his nation are like connected to him
Oh
magically.
my god.
And every morning, what is up, Drama Alert Nation?
Oh, don't forget, what did he had G Fuel. He was the first big guy for G Fuel.
True, yep.
Don't forget to buy his.
We're getting rid of water. No
Oh
one's
my
allowed to
gosh.
drink water
There's
anymore.
no water there.
I have this
Just
amazing
G Fuel.
magical concoction.
I don't know, but I don't know if he's got the int for that. I think Jordan's closer. I think he's more like a bard.
I think Whispers Bard. That's what I think when I think conniving.
He's got that charisma.
Hmm.
He's got the magic. And most importantly, he's got skill proficiencies, which wizards lack.
And he does have skill proficiencies, but a wizard could simply just take skilled, the feat.
No feats. That's cheating.
Oh, we're going
No one
without
gets
variant
feet.
rules, no feat rules.
Mm-mm. ASIs only. Until I deem otherwise. No.
You have one
Oh.
specifically in mind that gets feet, and that's
Mm.
it.
But I almost think he's not actually a Whispers bard. I think he's the type of guy that everyone thinks is a Whispers bard, but he's actually like a glamour bard.
Hmm.
Okay.
What's that one that came from Mythic Odyssey of Theros? Was it Eloquence?
I
let
don't
me
remember
look.
which one's from which source book. Not
Let me
gonna lie.
look.
I think it was College of Eloquence. And he's just so conniving that everyone's like, I swear he's a College of Whispers, but all the College of Whispers are like, nope, not ours. We did not do that. We would not be that well known for being conniving.
Mythic Odysseys of Theros.
Moot.
View all sources, please, so that I can find my Mythic Odyssey.
And then we've already figured out he would be a gnome because it's just funny.
Eloquence is from Mythic Odysseys of Theros.
Okay, I think it's that one because that's the one that's like at level 3 you can't roll lower than a 10 on persuasion.
Should I multi-class into
Yep.
Bard for Vivia 3?
Maybe.
You're a master at saying the right thing at the right time. When you make a persuasion or deception check, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10.
See? That's so him. That's so
Dang.
Because there's been times where he asks somebody, he's like DM'd people on Twitter to be on his show, and he's been able to smooth talk them into doing it after they've openly said they hated his guts, and then he'd get them on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the
I
whole
could
time
see
that he
that.
was literally bashing Basherverse like crazy, and then they became best friends.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
no.
Yep. I
It's
100% agree with
real.
you.
It's oh. So
Okay.
that's him.
Yeah. Keemstar, College of Eloquence bard that everyone thinks is a College of Whispers bard.
And he's a gnome.
And he's a gnome.
No.
Jordan, I can't think of
And-
anyone more fitting. I need you to tell us about Leafy now.
I genuinely have no idea.
Well, genuinely start having one.
I don't know who this person is.
Look it up.
People compared him
Okay,
to
He still
can-
does stuff on Twitter today.
Yeah, but he's not on YouTube anymore.
Yep.
Got banned for talking about Pokimane.
you know,
Okay,
Well,
wait.
slandering
I'm looking up.
Pokimane. But no, if anything, Leafy is some form of ranger.
think so?
Yes, specifically because in all of his commentary videos, every single one of them was doing CSGO surf videos.
No.
So that makes him a ranger?
Yes.
That is not a good enough reason.
I
it
also agree. I don't think that's a good enough reason.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
See, I think back to the fact that he was super intelligent because he knew how to DDoS and stuff like that, and he ran all of his things. He knew how to monetize like crazy. So I think he was smart, but he certainly was not very charismatic, actually.
Maybe Artificer then?
That or Wizard, or he's not a fighter. I was gonna say he could be Eldritch Knight, but he is not a fighter.
No.
If I'm looking at the right Twitter account, it looks like he just posts as Garfield.
What? I don't think you're looking at the right
I
Twitter
don't
account.
know. It's a verified Twitter account.
Jordan, look up Leafy is here.
Just go to
Okay.
images.
I definitely don't think you're looking at the right Twitter account if it's just
It was
Garfield.
verified, so
No.
I assumed. Okay, wait.
I think he
Leafy
may have
is
been
it-
banned from Twitter too. I think he's only on Instagram now.
It's possible. I would
But
not
is he
doubt
back on Twitter after
Potentially.
The-
I don't know. I can't.
Exelon Musk
I don't know who
takeover?
this guy is.
If you see a man that looks like he hasn't, that looks like he's homeless and hasn't shaved in like 5 months.
That's not
him.
what I'm seeing. I'm finding Garfield.
He
Oh
he was
my
often
God.
compared to the one character from Horton Hears a Who, the emo Who.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
he still has
Yeah.
his hair like that, except now he looks like he's 50.
Oh my god, he
No,
does
I know,
look
I
like
know
he's
who the
homeless
Dr.
He
now.
Seuss
looks
character is. I
terrible
don't know who the
now.
guy is.
Like it's bad.
Wow.
He had a lot of obscenity when he spoke.
He
Mhm.
did.
And he did not have much
I'm
wisdom
putting it in the
in how he
Discord.
spoke at all.
Here he is. That's what he looked like back then in
Yeah.
2016, and that's what he looks like now.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the
You know what that
definition of
picture
twink
reminds
death.
me of? You know what that picture reminds me of? It reminds me of what's the movie? The Last Samurai.
Yeah,
I think that's what Tom Cruise looks like
kind of
when
reminds me
he
of
goes from being clean shaven to being in the Japanese village.
Oh.
the first thing that makes me think of is the before and after of Yandere Dev.
Huh.
Uh,
Yeah.
But
no, this is the definition of twink death. Like,
Never heard
Can
that in
you
my
define for
life.
me what twink death is, Taryn? Can you tell me right now what twink death is? Because I would
Uh,
like to know.
being a twink
Nope,
at one
nope,
point
nope.
and then slowly evolving into not a twink.
Glad to know that you are observing Leafy is here and being like, "Yup, that's a twink." All right, moving on.
He was.
So, I gotta agree with Pertuset. I don't think Leafy is here was charismatic at all.
Charismatic.
No, he
Um,
was just intelligent.
I think there's some intelligence up there, but that doesn't necessarily mean he has to fit in a class that his stats are good for. He could just be shit at whatever
really,
he
really
is
bad, yeah.
That's true. That makes a lot of sense.
and be smart.
He could be a rogue. Rogues,
Yeah, that's
their
what I was
second
about to
stat
say is
ins.
which I feel like he falls under rogue because I don't necessarily think he was the best. I think he kind of just got a little lucky because it was the time period when he started doing this stuff was like I said earlier, that's when it was like, "Oh, edgy people, they're cool cuz they like to make jokes that aren't PC." And I like that and he very much fit that description.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit of his popularity was luck playing in there. And so I like the idea of him not necessarily actually being the best at his job, but still managing to do well just from maybe he has the lucky feet. Maybe that's what he has.
Just
Maybe
kind of
he's
right
the one
place,
with
right
the feet.
time.
Yeah, he's the one with the feet. He has the lucky feet.
Maybe. He certainly has something out to get him, though. How many times he's been banned off YouTube and every other platform.
His mouth. His
True.
Yeah, he literally just needs to stop talking in a derogatory way about women, and he'll be fine.
I think Inquisitive Rogue, maybe? He's certainly
Yep.
not going to be like Soul Knife or anything like that. I don't
No.
think he's a swashbuckler either.
No.
I don't think he's an arcane trickster either.
He's not any of the ones that their whole thing is like, yeah, I'm gonna get up front and fight people. He is not any of
Yeah,
those.
I'm competent.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think he's inquisitive.
Mm-hmm.
What if I say this slur online?
I
That's
feel like you
Leafy.
don't have to experiment for that. You know the outcome. You know what's gonna happen.
Oh, I do.
That's
don't
a
think he did.
gnome
Yeah, I'm not
quantity,
sure if
and
he
you
did.
should
He
do
was
it.
experimenting, Jordan. He was
that's
the
not a valid experiment.
he
That's just
was
being stupid.
Exactly.
forerunner
Oh
who
my
found
God.
out for all of us what we
What
weren't
happens.
allowed to say.
I feel like just a general run of the mill moral compass is enough to tell you what not to say on
Well,
YouTube. But
that's the thing about all four of these people is none of them have a good moral compass, as we
No.
will learn.
common sense.
Nope, not that
They
either.
don't have that.
Yeah, no.
Definitely not.
That's the thing about rising to fame is somehow out the window goes everything that teaches you how to be a person. I don't know why. I don't know how, but
Just
it does.
Don't say slurs on the internet. Don't say slurs. Period. That's
We didn't
just
talk about that, but Keemstar also famously said one.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
don't say slurs. It's so easy to just not say them.
You
Poor
would think
Alex.
so. You would. In any case, that's two of our combatants.
Yeah.
Why don't we go to another one that famously said a slur a few times?
Why
Actually,
do all these
both
people
of
keep
them?
saying
Either of them,
slurs?
yeah.
All of them have.
This is
Like-
Jordan. This is you have to understand. This you really gotta okay. You have to do the historian's method right now, Jordan. You have to view this with the idea that this was a different time. That doesn't make it okay that they did
7
these
years
things.
ago.
But it was
I'm
a
just-
different time, and this was what a lot of edgy teenagers and preteens thought was funny. So
Yeah.
they did it because people thought it was funny. That doesn't mean it was okay, but that is just what happened. And we have to
viscerally upset by
understand that.
Stupid people.
I think we should keep the rock, paper, scissors going here. So next up should be iDubbbz because iDubbbz killed Leafy.
He
Yeah.
did. He
yes,
did.
he did the content cop on Leafy. Yes.
Oh, what can you say about
iDubbbz
iDubbbz?
famously, first off, for Jordan's reference, and for those of you at home that aren't familiar, this was the guy that jumped off the countertop and said, "I'm gay."
Yeah, in the
Yes.
green spandex suit. Yeah,
he
because
Classic.
also was the one that said, "I have osteoporosis."
yes.
Yeah,
Also
Yeah.
a classic.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
him.
yeah. And he also said a slur several times, a very bad slur several times,
Mm-hmm.
as like
Most
part of his
famously?
main content loop. That was like
Yeah.
a thing he was known for a while.
Who was
Yeah.
the content creator he went to say the slur to?
I
and
know
she
who you're
said-
talking about. It was a woman.
Tana Mojo.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Of course it was
He
Tana
went
Mojo.
he went to a meet and greet with her, and when he got to her to take a picture, he said, "Say
Well,
the slur."
there-
Did he
There's
go to
also-
TanaCon? Is that what this
No,
was?
no.
there's also additional context behind that story that makes it even worse,
We're
because the
not-
reason why he said that to her was because she said it as well,
Ah.
and he was
Of
making
course,
fun of her for
that's
saying
not
that. It doesn't. Well,
surprising.
it doesn't make it any better, but it's just so funny that that's what he
Oh.
thought of to
the
do in that
levels of
situation.
horrible is
Yeah.
just
caused
the
it's
whole
staggering.
In this case, I think he is an Oath of Redemption paladin.
What the heck?
Taryn coming out here with the hot takes.
Well, okay. Wait. Taryn,
Okay.
He in
explain your reasoning.
In recent times, he has in fact redeemed himself.
I
He
horribly
has-
disagree, but go on.
because of the popularity of creator boxing and him doing a bunch of stuff with different charities for creator boxing. I think that he has redeemed himself in recent times.
Okay. But
Or is
I
maybe we
think-
say he's trying to redeem himself.
I
Exactly.
think
He hasn't
in
reached.
in the sphere of him redeeming himself, sure, he's doing better things and maybe not doing those horrible things he used to do, but he has done other bad things now that are not necessarily connected to those past things either.
Okay, I have no
I
clue
just-
about that, but
I just don't think that what he's doing now determines his class. I think that he's like a horrible monstrous killer that murdered thousands and started going to church.
Oh my god,
Okay.
it's your D&D character, Pertuset.
Nuh-uh.
And then killed a bunch of people. That's
Yeah. What would he have been back then? He did funny skits that involved hate speech. Sometimes they didn't, and those were the funnier ones, like the "I'm gay."
those
or
are the ones that I
osteoporosis.
know, the ones
Yeah,
that did not have slurs in them.
Which
Yeah.
though the I'm gay one was when he was doing something with Filthy Frank. So honestly, it's wild that there were no slurs in that one.
yeah.
It's so true. It was a different time. Crazy to think that only that many years makes a difference, but
Mhm.
it really was.
Oh, I remember that period of YouTube. Didn't think it was funny then.
Oh my gosh. Wild that we lived through that. That's something Gen Alpha's never gonna get. Like, sure,
Yeah,
they
no.
have Skibbity
Yeah.
Toilet, but they are
This
not
was-
gonna go through that ring. of
This
fire.
was
No.
a core building block of the personality of Gen Z.
Millennials
Yeah.
didn't get it either.
Yeah,
There
no.
were a lot of
Hey,
weird
this was
things
an
on the
all
internet
us
that are
thing.
core memory.
Oh, but so I don't know. I think he wasn't like an assassin. He picked fights. He often won them. I almost think he's a champion, a fighter champion.
He is boxing now.
But this is 2016 iDubbbz, Taryn, not
Oh,
2024 iDubbbz. We're
Okay,
talking about
okay.
what they were in the past. But I would agree with Pertuset still. I think he was confident. He was the inverse of Leafy. He knew he could take the heat. He could take the smoke. And so he went for it actively every time.
Yep. He didn't seem particularly smart, nor was he particularly eloquent. He just picked a ton of fights that were good fights, more or less. He was fighting
Yep.
people that made bad content.
Yep.
He was-
Mhm.
Yep.
I think
So
he's
yeah,
just a
no,
champion.
I could give him champion fighter or just some kind of fighter. I think
Mhm.
works for him.
Purple Dragon Knight. Say,
You're so real for this.
run from it.
Well, I
Hide
could
from
argue like Battle Master because he like knows his way around a fight, right? He just somehow always he knows the field of battle.
Samurai.
And so I could argue that. But it really doesn't. It's not that big of a deal for me.
Echo Knight because of the way that he split himself into two different versions.
Yeah.
No, I think that's Filthy Frank, but we'll get to that.
No,
we
I
won't.
think Filthy Frank is the Oath of Redemption paladin in all honesty.
I can get behind that.
Oh,
But we'll get to that in a minute.
yeah.
Now we're only doing 4.
That's the next episode.
And the last combatant, the
Bruh.
person that then fought iDubbbz, was H3H3
Yeah.
and made a what they called it the content nuke, or maybe that was Leafy that did that.
I do not remember.
It's getting hazy. But they just yapped about iDubbbz. They didn't like him.
Yeah.
But then they did. They made like a temporary alliance against Leafy.
What is going on in this conflict?
I-
How
It's so
you're just gonna
cursed.
double back like that and you're gonna switch sides in the middle?
They did. That actually
You
happened.
can't just do that. That's not how war works.
Sure it is.
Oh. So H3H3, I don't know. They just be out there yapping about all sorts of stuff. And when iDubbbz was a guest on H3H3's podcast is when Mr. H3 Ethan said the horribly bad slurs because of iDubbbz. Not even because he was not under any duress or anything. He just said them to say them.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say anything because I've said what I need to say, but people are stupid.
It's crazy. Oh, I don't know. He's like a commoner. No, okay.
That'd be really funny if we had just
Goblin.
just a plain old commoner.
I don't know because
I think he's
he
like
has
that
a massive
kobold
following.
that has like a bag of bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will not explain further.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
I don't know. He has
That's why they
lies.
listen to him because, like, on your own, a commoner kobold, not threatening, but he does have a sack full of bees.
Yep. Yep.
He has millions of people that watch him, and you think it's all because of a bag of bees?
Those
Yep.
are the bees. The millions of people that watch him are the bees.
He turns them into bees and adds them to the bag of bees.
That's not what I was going for.
I realized this, but I thought it was too funny not to say.
Oh.
It kind of works, actually. Because when we revisit where everything is now, Keemstar the Bard has no one that really likes him anymore, but he still has people watch him. But like he's got 0 friends, like
Yep.
in the internetosphere, because no one trusts him. So his nation has fallen to just his undead servants that are subscribed to him. Leafy has been nuked off the planet quite literally and no longer exists anywhere. Don't know who did that, but it happened.
It was the kobold with the bees.
I don't think it was.
Because remember, they teamed up to get iDubbbz.
Yeah.
iDubbbz's world is like around, but he's like not ruling it at all. He's just chilling. And then H3H3's just got the bees. People still watch him. None of them are nearly as cultural figures as they used to be.
That's what I'm going to start
Mhm.
describing active content creators who have big followings as. I'm
Bag of
going to say,
bees.
no, they got the bees. They got. Instead of saying, oh, he's pretty popular, oh, he's got the bees. He's got the bees, you
Can
know?
we make that catch on as like internet lingo?
I think this has been a fantastic exercise. And
Yeah.
think, all of this world, this content creation world, all these figures, they're not even like the inciting figures. These are the people that were popular after the other ones we mentioned, like Shane Dawson and Fred and all the others. Imagine
God.
going to the wasteland of that and being like, yeah, I'm gonna settle here.
The ancient Fred Empire.
You just find Fred
Its
in
rise
the
and
desert.
fall.
Fredizian relics.
I'm
Or
imagining like an Egyptian Sphinx statue, but with Fred's face on it.
I hate it.
Oh, you guys remember the Fred movie?
Yes.
Yes.
All three of them.
What was it, John
Cena's his
Cena?
Dad? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Smosh the movie?
Mm.
I just remember
Unfortunately.
Marvin.
What? What?
That's how I
What?
feel about 2016.
And next episode, we talk about the Weezer Cruise.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to. If you really like our content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on YouTube, and look for us on Spotify. If you'd like to see us continuing to do more fun projects in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find our page linked in the description above all of our other social media links. And finally, if you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and check out some more skit-based content and things like that, check us out on Twitter and TikTok, links in the description. And hey, thanks!